So the higher knowledge of existence that is for the Creator to know Himself, to know ourselves, to experience ourselves, to accept ourselves, and then to crystallize ourselves, our spirit, and then become the Creator. Like here, I'll give an example of honesty. So I don't get to express this stuff very often, or to share this with people. But when I do, I've had like old ways of becoming egotistical about knowing it because I'm proud of myself. It's a form of pride of knowing it. And it's imbalanced because, I mean, I feel like I'm something special because I know this stuff. And while it is special that I know it because it's a rare thing, that's one side of the equation. And the other side is that I only know it because of other people and my own diligent discipline. It's not like I'm different from people for knowing it or being able to know it, because everybody has the same ability, potential to know it. And so I've just put in the hard work. I've been blessed to have ways of knowing it. And the angels helping me out, Ashley's wisdom as well. And so that's an example of honesty, knowing that, being truthful, and getting it out, because then you become humble as you experience it on the outside of yourself, as opposed to a part of a subconscious programming. So that's also an example of balance, where I am nothing yet I'm everything, all at the same time, and that's the paradox. And then once you fuse those together, you have truth, and you have love as well. Now, knowing that I'm nothing would make me think that I'm insignificant. A lot of people think like, yeah, the universe is infinite, yet I'm insignificant because my contribution is so small. Or that, who cares about us or humans? Humans are pitiful, and but at the same time, we're everything because we are identity. Capital I for identity. We are identity. We're everything. Our hearts, how we feel. I just cracked myself in the nose. It's everything. And so that would be balance. That's within equilibrium. So that's humility as well. Being humble. Not having ego. Another example would be patience. My red ray. So red ray deals with patience. Deals with the receiving of the energy of light itself. And for that, it's patience, impatience, it's anger, it's fear, and it's all just kind of like a mechanism. And defense mechanisms people have, insecurities people have, fears, and then controlling things based off those fears that creates imbalances, that then creates destructiveness in people. So I may be afraid of something happening, or I have anxiety of something happening, or that of myself not performing well within this video. So based off of that, I try to control myself, but that control is making my performance botched up or contracted, not flowing, when naturally who I am, naturally what all is, everything is perfection. And so when I don't allow myself to just be as I am, and I take my will out of it, by taking my will, I become the universe's will, my will being, or the will of who I am, that greater truth of it just pouring through me, of just effortless effort. Once I take my will out, then you have, that's when you have God's glory coming through you. That's when you have good acts, you have miracles, inspiring ways. You have your full potential, the full power of what you are, what everything is, what God is through you, given to others. That's where you have that greater strength of the power, which is love and light, which is the light, a completeness, a wholeness of that, a balance of that energy coming through you. So you have the light, you have quantity and quality. So you have love and light, love/light, just like in patience and patience. But so with light, as you bring your emotions forward, your emotions is the light itself. That's hard to understand because you might be afraid of your emotions or the truth that's inside of you, the true ways that you feel, and you have things backed up from a long time ago that have been breeding in darkness for a long time and coming up. You might be ashamed of yourself, but it's another opportunity. You see things as opportunities to heal it, to learn greater compassion. These are all opportunities to become something much, much greater, higher, to crystallize yourself. These are opportunities. So you bring those emotions forward, and you have to connect to yourself. And that's the difference between the dark side and the light side path, is that it's connection versus separation. Being separate from yourself, repressing your emotions, leads them to come out destructively. But connecting to yourself and other people is then the light. Now that's the quantity. So that's feeling the emotion coming forward. That's your anger, like tapping into it. You really have to not be afraid of it. Just let it come forward. But do it in a constructive way. Don't begin to, become bitter. It's a teetering effect. You bring it forward. And as it's at that point of choice that you missed before, that you either decided not to experience it or balance it out, or to balance it out, imbalance it out. So you're at that teetering choice. And that's the point. And it takes focus and a lot of practice, a lot of patience to learn how to use your body in this way. You do this, and then in that moment, you take that energy and you learn how to complete it, to look at both sides, to broaden it, to uncontract it, to free it, to give understanding, give acceptance to it, to add the softness, the feminine to it. And as you do that, then that's the quality of the light. That's love. Now, love is feminine and light is masculine. Masculine is the physical, the outward. It's outward. The feminine is inside. The physical manifestation is the masculine. The masculine is the seeking, and the feminine is that which is sought. So we are God's children. We are the bride of Christ. Christ seeks to help us out, help humanity out. And Christ could be just Christ consciousness, because he made himself into something much greater than just him smaller self. He was a channel, a perfect channel. And so, and I just lost it. Let's see, what was I talking about? But see, that's an example of interference. Entities don't like you talking and spreading the light. But anyway. Right, so that would be God seeking us out, seeking to help out the feminine. God is seeking us. His love is always there. The light is always there. But we have to let it in. We have to emulate it. He can only match but we allow it because love cannot infringe. Love cannot go where it isn't welcome, and we don't welcome it.